Hello. Welcome to episode 32 of In the Last Remaining Light. I am your host, Nathan, and I am joined by Katie playing Iris, Sai playing Mary, and Jillian playing Tyr. Our coterie is locked in a delicate balance and struggle for power. The local Camarilla of Seattle. The prince needs to gather support to call an Elysium and bring the perpetrators to justice, whoever the community might decide that should be. Many fledglings have been kidnapped horribly from the prince's willful and necessary care. Our coterie is perhaps implicated, perhaps not. They rejoin Tyr's sire, Jessica, in the mountains, in a hideaway meant only for gangrel, where these fledglings might be kept. Oh, I did the thing I wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah, just like I was like, he's on a roll. I don't want to stop.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Jillian, tell him about the Dice Cult giveaway that is happening over the radio in the car right now.
Hey, just turn up the radio real quick. Hey guys, the Dice Cult is having a spooky dice giveaway. It's actually started right now. And we'll be going through next week to our next episode on the 30th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Katie, if you'd be so kind to just hold up some beautiful black and red dice. Yes, these are the dice we're giving away. This is, once again, a giveaway. So all you have to do is follow the link in chat, push a few buttons, cost you nothing, and you are entered to possibly win these beauties. And if you're interested in a lot of points, you can join us on Monday for On the Backs of Gods at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then again next Saturday to get, a few extra points and then maybe get to hear who wins live. But if you're interested, once again, follow the link, and we'd love to get these spooky dice a new home. And back to the music.
Tyr aggressively turns the radio off. She needs to focus driving through the mountains. She has this F-35 and it's right up close to the edge of a pass going up Mount Rainier. She is at this point just taking up both the right and left lanes. The road has grown so narrow. Her truck is so large, and she is slowly creeping around the edge. Behind her, Mary and Iris drive a newly acquired, clean, as in completely legal, Buick LaCrosse, owned by none other than yours truly, Iris.
I forgot we still owe that guy something. Oh.
We'll get him his car, and he can also have a car made out for Linda Howler.
Yeah, the car's actually owned by Linda Howler, not Iris.
Semantics. As they round a final turn, and Tyr is focused on not falling off the side, Iris's eyes are drawn up and to the left, into the woods. A deep, dark forest of pines that is typical for Western Washington. And as her eyes scan around, she feels that sensation that she knows so well of sliding past the spaces that must not be seen. Things that are concealed. She focuses as she drives right behind here, perhaps almost dangerously. and her eyes lock with the deep red glow of two piercing orbs staring back at her. She can make out a broken and twisted silhouette that could only be a Nosferatu.
Hello.
Iris, you were trapped behind this F-350. You cannot go any faster. Unless you want to try and overtake the F-350
God, there's
driving
no
either
space.
between the cliffside and the F-350, or risking the outside.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's not that smart, but smart enough not to try driving around this truck. But if Mary was here with us at this very moment, I would ask Mary to call Tyr for me while I'm driving to let her know what's happening.
I'm sure Mary would love to call Tyr right now.
I'm sure she would.
If she were here with
Mary-
us.
Exactly.
This is brutal.
Just like she's paused next to you.
Yes. Mary, are you
Mary,
okay?
please.
This is what Twitter does to us. She's just scrolling. She's just doom scrolling.
Mary, please. Well,
Just squinting and driving.
since Mary's ignoring me, I'm gonna do a single honk on the horn to get Tyr's attention.
So you honk?
Oh yeah, Mary's ignoring me, so that's what we're doing. Just one singular beep.
Tyr's instant is just like, fuck you. The first instinct. Tyr's gonna start slowing down.
Oh, Mary, are you paying attention now, Mary? Are you done scrolling?
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
What is like?
You need to call
Sorry.
Tyr.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna call Tyr.
Iris,
I'm sorry,
The
I was, like,
minute that
reading
you
this-
honk, 3 more pairs of bright red
Oh yeah,
eyes
great.
train on to the Buick LaCrosse.
Mm,
You can see that they're moving through the trees parallel to you.
I love it.
I'm gonna call. We didn't give Martin a phone. We did not give Martin a phone.
No.
No,
I have.
no,
I'm gonna
he
call
is-
Tyr.
I think Tyr would have turned her phone on because we're technically separated, so I believe in that. Hey, I feel like this is a hands-free state. I'm just taking a guess, but
I mean, you could put it on speakerphone, right?
yeah. I turn on speaker and I just kind of like toss it over to Martin. What's up? Why are you honking at me?
The Grover are here. There's at least 4
Oh my gosh!
following us.
Like, this is the first time I heard that. Where are they?
She'll like gesture with one hand towards where she saw the eyes. That way.
I hear a hand moving. That means nothing to me.
Can I see them? This is like to our right, or like not the cliff side, in the woods.
Yeah, into the trees.
They're in the
They're like
they're in the
running
woods.
in the trees.
Cliffside to your right, trees to your left,
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
sloping
woods.
upwards towards the peak of Mount Rainier.
What do you want me to do?
Well,
Do you think
either
they're-
we should try and get away from this cliff edge as fast as we can, or stop so we don't potentially get thrown over the cliff.
Because the thing is, we're getting really close to where Jessica is. I'm not exactly sure if we should keep bringing them that way.
I think we should. I think that's a great. We should probably not head to Jessica's and misdirect them or something.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we are literally maybe 5 minutes from Jessica tops. I'm gonna stop.
All
And
right.
you tell me if I should fucking floor it. Tyr's gonna slowly come to a stop closer to the wood side, if possible, than the cliff side.
I suppose I'll stop behind her because I
Tyr,
can't go
you
around.
roll forward, and there is a kind of a space where the road comes inward, just before a bridge.
Oh god.
It turns in so that there is not immediate cliffside to your right.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the reason you stopped there. But just 20 feet in front of you, you can hear the rushing of crystal clear mountain water cascading down the side.
should
And
we
a
just
bridge
cross
has
the
been
bridge?
built over this.
If the bridge is right there, maybe we
Yeah, why
cross
don't
the
we
bridge
get across
first.
the bridge and then stop and then like look back.
I like
Let's,
that. Let's do that.
Tyr, you stop at this point. Iris,
Mhm.
from your perspective, when the Buick rolls to a stop behind the F-350 behind Tyr, we are probably up over half a dozen
Oh god.
bright red
There
piercing
he is.
eyes.
They're here.
And they have stopped and noticed you. They were moving in the direction of travel, kind of alongside the road. Now they've stopped and begun to stay.
I'm gonna speak in the speakerphone. Martin, do clench your butt. Do your thing. Hide. Well, maybe you can hide in the back first before you do that, so you're like double hidden.
Tyr, you look over at Martin, and he just kind of like, here.
There has to be an easier way to do it.
Maybe if you put him in a box again, because he likes the boxes.
This is true. We should have brought him a box.
I need to do this for the back seat or something. Okay. And he just like crawls behind, like through between the two front seats behind you. Definitely his torso that just kind of like rubs up against you, Tyr. It's pallid and cold.
But that's just like
through his
us. We're
worn
also
t-shirt.
cold too.
Yeah, but it's
So-
worse because it's Martin. Do you want me to try and start crossing the bridge? Really can't see much.
Yeah, there's like almost 10 of them now. But
I'll start crossing the bridge. I will pick it back up and try to get across the bridge. Nice and casual. Like I don't want to plummet off a bridge.
That'd be bad.
Yeah, the Grovers don't even do anything. I just fly off on my own. The Grovers are like, what the fuck? Is that person okay?
It's the
So
secret
you-
passageway.
Are you taking it slow still, Tyr? Are you?
Yeah, I would take it slow. I'm not going fast.
Okay.
I hear no.
It's too many.
That was a lot.
The F-350 rolls forward onto this picturesque little bridge. It is perhaps only 30 feet long. It's tiny. During the day and better times, parents would bring their children here, and this would be a childhood memory of what the absolute perfection of Fairy Tale Mountains looks like.
Oh, that's nice.
At least bridge end to end is D&D range, so
True. If anybody has a fireball, we're in the clear. We got it.
Safe.
I'm excited about that.
Is that what Martin pipes up saying from the back? See?
Tyr, you roll forward, focusing on the bridge for a second. Your eyes drift up to the rearview mirror, and Martin's gone.
I can still feel him here with me emotionally. If he left, he's an idiot. So I'm just going to assume he's invisible. Just going to make that really good assumption, I think.
Nathan, I feel like you're setting us up to destroy this bridge. I just feel like
Nathan, would you
brought
like us to
here.
destroy this beautiful bridge? Because we will. This
We're
beautiful
good at
little mountain
destroying.
bridge, we'll destroy it.
This would
I don't
probably be
know
one
if
of the harder things to destroy, I think. But
Oh, challenge accepted. What to
Look,
say.
there's like 40 Grovers with N tier with potence.
All together. We can ruin this bridge.
They have to be on the one side to take care of that half.
Yeah, we'll get
Yeah.
it. I'm just gonna slowly drive across this bridge. Like I don't know there's a bunch of Grovers. Real casual.
you creep slowly across the bridge, ignoring the presence of Martin to the best of your ability. About halfway across it, and Iris, are you following
Yeah.
closely behind her?
Mm-hmm.
A wiry and wretched figure lands directly on the hood of the F-350. It hits the metal and it flexes and barks, sending vibrations through the whole massive vehicle.
Grover?
Those two bright red beads draw right at you through the windshield.
Windshield wipers. Gray water. Just maintaining eye contact.
It stares at you through the windshield wipers
Oh, it can still see me.
and begins to
Wow.
creep around towards the driver's side window, putting its hand on the rearview mirror.
Ugh, lock everything. Gross.
How do they know where we are?
I'm gonna roll the window down a little bit. Hey, Grover.
You know Grover?
Yeah, we're Grover. You can ask Grover back there.
Grover does not drive.
Grover's driving right now.
Roll subterfuge and manipulation.
You talked to me first, guys. I tried to get him to
It-
tell you. Okay. Manipulation, subterfuge. This could be worse. Also, preface: I will not be using willpower for anything tonight, so enjoy.
Good.
2 successes.
Just deserves an actual contested roll.
Yeah. No, Grover was cool.
You're not Grover. This is Grover's mountain now. Get off. And a secondary Grover lands in front of the bridge directly in your headlight beams. The Grover on the on your hood steps down to the right underneath the vehicle and reaches down to the undercarriage with both hands.
Freaking Grovers.
Fucking Grover. I'm gonna start trying to I'm gonna put a little oomph into it. I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna see if I can get this guy off the bottom of my fucking car. I don't know what he's doing down there. Hey guys, I have a fucking problem. I'm just gonna say to the speakerphone.
So I'm gonna need a drive dexterity.
Ugh.
Oh no.
Nathan. So that'll be both of my hunger dice and nothing
Oof.
else.
You may also summon the power of blood if you want additional dice.
No. I need to save my hunger at the moment.
Do we see this happening?
You
Oh,
do,
yeah.
absolutely.
One success.
Um,
I'm gonna let the other two decide what they are doing
Yeah.
Mhm.
at this moment when they
Mhm.
see the Grover.
I feel like getting out of the car is very not a good idea.
Could you just like yell out the window at them and make them stop?
Yeah. I'll
I'll
open the window
push
and
down the windows.
like, hey, Grovers, that's a Grover. Don't worry about it. Come here.
Yeah, you heard Grover.
Where's the Grover that we met?
Where's the cool Grovers?
Where's the many Grovers we know and love?
They're not actually Grover.
I'll compel.
I-
Wait a
I'll
minute.
compel one of them to come
Okay.
here.
Iris, what is your intent in this moment?
You know, I'm just gonna make sure the windows are fully down, and I'm gonna turn the lights on as bright as I can to blind them so they can't see what they're doing as well. But I don't know a good way to help her
That's okay.
without getting out and possibly losing this car too.
Tier checks her seatbelt. All right.
Tyr acknowledges that her and the fate of this F-350 are now linked.
We're together
But
in this, buddy.
I'd like to be ready to like zoom forward if Tyr gets off the bridge.
There we go. That's definitely
yeah.
a thing.
Yeah,
So you were
Yep.
prepared to follow Tyr
yeah.
with your view.
We could creep closer to the car.
Mhm. Just slowly getting as close as possible.
How do we have
So-
2 cars again?
I bought
We-
one.
You purchased
Jessica's
one.
car, and we bought one.
Oh yeah,
You're
the
coming here
Jessica
to
truck.
return it. Yeah.
So we have one
You're just-
big car and another big car, medium car.
Medium, I'd say.
A standard sedan type
Yeah.
vehicle.
Mm.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go, boys. The Grovers all bestial fail.
No, that's my job.
Yeah. They all
Okay.
crit.
So Mary, you have issued a command using the power of your blood.
I
And
what?
I believe that is a dominate and
Yep,
manipulation.
It's a dice roll. I will just do a. Well, compel is, yeah. All right. I have 3 successes.
Okay. Iris, would you go ahead and make me a drive composure roll?
Ooh. Yeah, that's 2 dice right there. Both
I'd love
hunger
a
dice.
composure roll.
Yeah, it's just a composure roll, is what it is.
Weird how none of us know how to drive.
Ugh, that's a whole 1 success. Yeah.
Oh, we're in it to win it.
It's probably enough to creep slow, and you completely derail
Just
your car.
gently bump the car.
Your car just veers off and flies away. Oh, okay.
Tyr, this Grover crawls over to the driver's side, puts its gnarly, almost certainly webbed feet on the ground, looks you in the
Wow.
eye, and begins to lift,
Oh,
pulling
fuck you.
upwards. You immediately put your foot down on the accelerator,
Mm-hmm.
launching the F-350 forward, but it's coming up. The right set of tires engage, driving you forward. The left are beginning to lose traction when Mary's voice rings out, commanding the Grover, summoning it to her presence. The Grover's eyes go slack. The F-350 launches forward, scraping the left side of the bridge as it exits. Mary, you get what you want. That Grover presents itself squarely in the middle of the bridge in front of the Buick Cross.
Oh no.
Grover, come over here. We just want to talk. If I need my awe, I'm gonna use it.
Mary shouts out the window as Iris too puts her foot on the accelerator.
You run him over. You're just like, I'm just gonna gently.
What, Iris? This is a choice at this point. This Grover is between you and Tyr.
The Grover's getting run over. That's what's gonna happen. Grover should have listened.
We just want to talk ka-thunk.
I was set to go fast. That's the plan.
The Buick Lacrosse, it has many faults, but amongst none of them is a failure to be composed of quality Detroit steel. It is a behemoth, and it impacts the Grover, knocking it off its feet,
Oh my God! You actually did it.
driving it under the
I was
carriage.
gonna talk to him. I was
Too
kidding.
late for him.
Iris, you speed behind the bridge, behind Tyr. I assume at this point both of you are driving at the maximum speed that you think appropriate for mountains and escaping
Oh.
Grover.
Yeah. For mountains, yes.
Hey guys, we're across the bridge. Are we gonna keep going? Do you want me to punch a Grover? Is there still a Grover under my car? I don't know. A lot of unknowns there.
I
tell the
actually ran
Grover?
one over. I ran it over.
Can you tell if there's a Grover under my car?
I'll try and look and see.
Is there a
if
Grover under
I
my
can
car?
see
Because I
a
don't like it.
Grover.
There were two Grovers. One of them went to us, and one is still trying to lift your car.
I think one was lifting, one
that
was
right?
One was
just-
in front of Tyr,
Oh,
in
and-
front of the F-350. One was trying to lift it. The one that was trying to lift it, I assumed was the important one that you wanted to call,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mary. So that F-350 went straight through the Grover that was in front of it.
Oh, I hit a Grover too, guys. Don't worry, we're even.
Run
I
them
didn't
all
even feel it.
down.
But if anyone wants to know the whereabouts of said Grovers, that would be an investigation awareness check. Actually, let's make that an awareness composure check.
Love to see
Jeez.
it.
3 dice.
Okay, I 4 successes on me.
Ooh.
Y'all, I have some real skill getting these double bestial failures. I'm just gonna say.
Use
My
auspex.
God.
Use auspex. Don't do this. Don't do this.
I
Use
need you to keep
auspex.
it together.
Iris,
Need you to get it together, Iris.
you jinxed yourself, and here we are.
I always do. Would
Might as well,
aspects even
guys.
do anything
You
with
love
this? Though?
failing and succeeding? Katie, post the link again in the chat.
Oh gosh.
While Nathan plans on how to ruin us.
So Iris,
Copy and paste again.
well, okay, let's start with the easy one. Tyr, you don't see shit, but you're getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
The road continues to snake on the other side of this bridge around the edge of the mountain. You are still dealing with that imminent cliff to your right.
Mm-hmm.
And at this speed, a time will come when this will require skill to navigate. But if you don't continue to put your foot down right now, the Grovers will catch you. You saw how that one leapt onto the hood of your vehicle. These do not move like typical humans. They have the high ground and the interior.
Guys, do we want to fight a bunch of Grover? Or do we want to keep going? I hate both options.
Well,
All right.
Tyr's voice
Much
blares
choice.
over the speakerphone, Mary. You are looking at the back of the F-350. There is a set of bright red eyes being dragged underneath it, staring back at you.
no.
It appears that its arm is caught at the elbow in the chassis,
No.
as if once it had been plowed through, it reached up at its assailant, the F-350.
is this on our car?
This is on Tyr's truck that's in front of you.
Tyr, there's a Grover on your truck.
I hate this. Listen, tell me if we're punching Grovers or if I'm going to try and keep going fast. I'm better at one thing than another, but it sounds like there's a lot of Grovers.
I could try and look and see how many there are.
Iris,
Can we
it
find
is
out?
time for us to address your bestial
Yeah.
failure.
Yeah.
So remind me what it is that you were trying to do.
At that time, I was looking for the Grover
Okay.
when I failed my roll.
Tyr hits the accelerator, and you have this communal sense of danger with her. Something threatens the both of you. Your eyes look to the speeding away truck, and you hit the gas pedal. You scan up into the forest, and by God, there must be hundreds
Holy fuck.
of red eyes.
Good.
The paranoia tightens around your heart. It almost makes it feel like it's beating again. Mary, you're along for the ride. Iris is absolutely white knuckling the steering wheel and flooring it. She will probably run into the back of this F-350 if she
Iris-
doesn't get shit under control.
Iris, stop. Do I have enough time? Like, do I have enough reaction time to be able
You
to
have-
say something?
Just enough time to say something. Although She does not look particularly responsive at this juncture.
Hit the brakes, Iris. I compel her.
Great.
Make a dominate manipulation roll.
4 successes.
And Iris, I believe you are making a intelligence result.
Okay. We'll see how
Oh, you're-
this goes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Add 3 extra dice.
Add 3 more to mine.
Oh, no, never mind.
Oh.
That's frenzy, not bestial failures.
Mhm.
I'm
I was
confused.
gonna say. Whole
The
2
one-
successes.
The one
Oh.
roll, you're gonna get bestial success on your resist my command to.
Yeah.
If you had frenzied, then you would get the additional dice, but this is a bestial failure, which
Yeah.
is different.
Not yet.
That command rings through your skull. Your right foot slams on the brakes just behind the F-350. But those
Wow.
eyes are still everywhere, Iris.
Mm-hmm.
Iris,
They
what's
are.
And Mary
happening?
wants you to stop. Mary wants you to stop. She can't see.
We can't stop. There are hundreds of Grover.
There are hundreds.
There's
Do you
hundreds.
not see the
You can hear that on
eyes?
the speakerphone.
Yeah, I can hear the speaker.
All right. Well, we got to get out of here then.
They believe me.
God, I wish
Aw.
Jessica told me your stupid fucking phone number. There has to be a way we can fucking warn her before, like, literally bringing this there.
We could turn back. We don't have to go.
I don't.
We're not going back.
I can't.
Well, we could take a U-turn, like somewhere later on.
No.
And, well, we can't
Martin,
lead them to
hand me the
Jessica's
handgun
place.
in the duffel bag. Give me the fucking handgun.
You want to warn them? You have a flare? Shoot it out the window.
Yeah, but flares don't make sounds. I was just gonna shoot a bunch of bullets.
Well, there'd be light at least with the sound of the bullets.
yeah, we can do it together. It's a team effort.
Okay.
Martin's pallid hand clatters around in the back seat for a moment, and he holds forward, hilt first, a Magnum revolver, presumably from the bag.
I only hope it was in the bag. I'll take the gun, roll down the window, and I'm just gonna shoot into the air like it's the 4th of July.
And just to be clear on this, both vehicles are now stopped.
Maybe we should
I
go.
can't drive my truck and shoot into the air. This is American.
Look,
Oh, indeed, it is America,
Martin-
and you can
Martin
do
can-
that.
Martin can shoot his gun.
Yeah.
okay, no. He's gonna shoot himself. That's what's gonna happen.
Gosh, I don't trust Martin to shoot this gun. Martin, do you know how to shoot a gun?
Shit, is like the safety off? Like I don't even.
Oh God.
I
He's like
would.
he's got it in his hand. He's like looking at it, and he's like turned the barrel towards his own head. Like
Oh, Jesus. I would take the gun. I'm going to stop just as quickly as I can, fire off, and then I'm going to try and start moving again. I have to give some type of warning. Can't just bring what I think is hundreds of Grover to Jessica's house.
you do not need to roll, to shoot into the air in America.
Thank you. I'm glad we have an understanding.
Jessica doesn't even know we're on our way, does she?
Yeah, no, we were gonna just show up like a
Nope.
surprise.
She knows something's happening now.
Yes, that's
Because-
all I wanted.
I'll also I would like to shoot a flare because that's what Tyr said. I thought these were gonna be warning shots for the Grovers.
Oh, maybe they'll
They're
think it's
both.
warning shots.
All right.
Dear, you aim that pistol up the mountainside and squeeze off a few rounds. Each one is a thunderous report that immediately cascades back into the cabin and bounces around. Martin looks discombobulated.
Get it together, Martin. I need you to get your shit together.
Closely behind that, you hear the of
Oh man.
Mary's flare gun lighting up the side of Mount Rainier.
We've done a good thing. This is a good
Iris, all of the blinking eyes that you've seen, they gaze up at the burning magnesium in wonder.
Wow.
Oh, they like that.
We should
Weird.
go. We should go while they're looking at the flare. We should
I'm going.
right now.
There's
Yeah.
a moment for people who love this so much to make drive composure checks.
My whole 2 dice.
3
Yes.
dice. Here we go.
Actually, well, this is drive dexterity. I'm sorry. This is a new
2
first.
dice.
Wow. I get
We
4
switch
then.
places. Okay. 1.
Not 2 this time.
Hey.
The two of you engage the gas pedal and are racing along the side of the mountain. Iris, Tyr drives like your grandma. You cannot get around this massive F-350, and it is. I mean, it looks in distress, right? It is driving like in a manner of distress, but it's doing that at like 27 miles an hour.
I'm impressed that I'm going that fast.
And the Grovers are upon you. You can see them leaping in the pines.
Jeez. We need to go faster. She's gonna start trying to see if there's a way to get around her, like slowly going from one side to the other.
Mary picked the wrong car.
Then- hey, paranoia's real. Rovers
Iris,
are here.
go ahead and give me one more check.
Mhm.
You may add your celerity to it if you choose to rouse it.
Is that another drive dexterity?
So that'll be drive dexterity. You may choose to add
Okay.
your. I will allow you to add your celerity to that, but it will cost you a rouse of the blood.
I'd love to. So that'll be another 3 dice. Let's see if I fail my rouse check. I didn't. I didn't fail. It's my first crit that I've rolled too.
Ooh,
That's lucky.
Well, for now. Till I roll these and nothing pops up. And oh, JK, we're good. That's 6 with a regular crit.
Ooh.
Not
so
even a
six
messy one.
total successes, or
6 total
or
with
10?
a crit.
Okay. Tyr, you are making probably what has to be the last bend towards Jessica's, and you hug the interior of the road as you go around it at the top speed that you feel is safe,
Yeah.
like an adult.
I'm responsible.
That black Buick LaCrosse streams past you like a river on the outside, right up next to the cliff edge.
That's terrifying.
Okay, Fast and Furious. Jeez.
You are now in the lead, Iris,
Mhm.
and you've made some progress now that you're in front and you've got your foot down. you are escaping the Grovers for the
Thank
time
God.
being. You're not 100% sure where you're going, but this mountain road can only lead to one destination.
I'll focus on driving then instead of watching for Grover, since I think they're a little bit further back. Be a bit more careful.
And there's bait a bit farther back, so don't you worry about it.
Yeah. But you have the guns, so
I do, and you know how good I am at shooting them? Not. Not good.
yeah.
It's okay, I got fists. I'll punch a
Yeah.
bunch of Grovers. It'll be
I-
fine.
I have Martin's death scene like Mad Max Warboy style, like on deck right now. Just want you to let you know that.
Oh yeah. If this doesn't turn into Mad Max right now.
Witness me.
We should have crafted like the stake front car.
We should have.
Oh,
Steak
never
car
made
would have been
steak
so
car.
good.
That would have been great.
That's very Mad Max. Yeah.
Next time.
The two vehicles careen around the side of the mountain, spiraling higher and higher. Tyr, you know that you can kind of recognize by the mile markers on this
Mhm.
mountain highway that probably about a mile away is the Sunset Rest encampment where the gangrel are presumably camping.
Okay. I would give the update over the phone.
Iris, you kind of come up over the horizon for the last time, heading east, and the whole mountain drops away beneath you.
Right.
You can see Idaho from here. Immediately to your left is a small parking lot and a clearing in a circle of pines. There are a couple of RVs parked. And you can see the like orangish reddish glow of a campfire.
This doesn't feel right, but I'll still slow down.
We're a woodsy people.
Mary, do you think this is where we're supposed to stop?
I don't know. It's Tyr who knows where we're supposed to go.
I'll be there in a minute.
There's just like a bunch of RVs and a fire.
Oh, you see any motorcycles?
Can you
Looking for a
like
motorcycle.
see like can you see further than that?
I could try. Try using my auspex to see if I see anything that looks like actual vampire camp and not random campers.
Sucks to be if they're just random ass campers right there. It sucks to be
We're
there.
bringing Grover to the campers.
There's some Grovers. Whoa. Oh no.
Go ahead and make an Auspex roll. Auspex Blitz.
Okay. I've got a lot of dice in that. That is 4 successes.
You see through the trees and into the into what on the other side of that massive campfire is a crowd of listless figures huddling kind of like as humans would around a fire, but instead away from it.
Do I recognize any of them as the vampires from the bus?
It's hard to make them out, but you absolutely recognize the lone figure standing next to the campfire.
Hmm.
You can almost smell the leathers. That's Jessica.
Okay. Yeah, this is the place, and I'll pull into a parking spot.
Hey, could you give
I'm
her a
gonna
fucking
get out.
warning? I'll be there in a minute.
I'll get out immediately and run
Start
towards
running.
Jessica, waving my hands. Maybe not screaming. Yeah, I won't make a sound, but I'll just like silently run waving my hands.
So Iris, you calmly park the Buick LaCrosse, and Mary gets out, running towards the campfire. You're not terribly far behind.
Yeah. The second I get to the parking lot, I'm getting out. I'm gonna get on the back of the truck with one of the guns, and I'm just gonna set up. I'll set up at the entrance of the parking lot. Might take me
Martin-
a minute, but that's what I want to do.
Martin grabs the green duffel bag and kind of crouches behind the truck on the far side of it, appearing like he might like hand you ammo or something,
Hell yeah. I'm gonna
trying
pretend
to make
do
himself
that.
useful.
That's
I
really
would like
nice
to
of
get one of the good guns out of the duffel bag for Martin and join the firing squad.
I'm terrible at fucking shooting these, but I gotta hit something, right? I'm just gonna wait.
There are a lot of them, so I think it'll be hard to miss.
All right.
I was gonna talk to them, and then Iris was like,
It was
I'm gonna
too
run
late.
one over.
It was too late.
The come here and the forward motion just led to us hitting Grover. Inevitable.
Things happen
Well-
fast at times.
Mhm.
Mary, you run towards the fire, where Jessica pretends to warm her hands.
Jessica,
Mary?
yeah, we're all here. We were gonna just anyway. Look, no time to explain.
Is Tyr with you? Like,
Yeah, they're over there. I point towards them, and they're like, "Here's like."
Who get the guns ready?
I saw a flare. Like, what?
Yeah, that was too. We should have called before coming here, but I mean,
She
I
doesn't
guess.
have a phone.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we don't have phones, I guess, but like. Anyway, look, there's like a horde of newborn Nosferatu chasing us right now.
Are they with the prince?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, they're Ursula's children.
Is Ursula here?
We don't know.
Have you seen Ursula? Like,
No, we haven't seen Ursula tonight.
Recently.
You've never seen her.
It's true.
I've heard of her. I've heard stories.
okay. Stay right there. How did you, is Tears over there?
Yeah. She's over there.
Okay. Fuck. She walks back to the group away from the fire. And starts issuing commands. You make out the old band members scattering, firing up RVs. You can see Michael's worried face, milky eyes.
Michael.
She walks back over to you. They've been hunting us for weeks up here.
They've been hunting you.
Those goddamn Venture fucks. They have these like drones. They've been all over the hills. I've had my birds on them, but
So
they got more
That
drones than I
means-
have birds.
there's well, we just came from where they were being made, well, kept. And so you're telling me that there's already like grovers that are active. So I mean, that means that there's probably like almost 100 grovers in total or more.
I don't know what a Grover is, but I was talking about like drones, like aerial drones. That's
Oh.
what they've been using to track us. I don't know. I haven't seen any other kindred in these mountains. They don't come here. That's why the gangrel
Okay.
took it.
I misunderstood that.
Grover, drone, similar.
Fair.
Very true.
Okay. Well, now they're sending. Okay. All right. Well, Tears over there. These are actual kindred. The drones at least don't have. I mean, they're not gun mounted, so it's fine. Are there still drones like right now? Are they active at night?
They're mostly out during the day, but they hunt us into the twilight.
So they're trying
saw
to
'em
find
come
you
back.
while everyone's in torpor.
Which is hard. It's hard to find a gangrel during the day. She smiles.
It's not very smart of them. Anyway, look, something's happening right now. We can talk about this later.
She turns and walks towards one of the RVs and knocks on it. After a moment, a woman answers. She has a short, blonde ponytail, glasses. They whisper to each other for a moment. And the two of them walk back over together. We are going to leave. Jessica pipes up. But we can't let the Venture have this mountain. It's the only
What?
place that's safe for us. We can go to another campsite for the night, but
Is there a way for sires to track down where their children are? Like magically or something? Empirically?
the woman with a blonde ponytail answers you. There is indeed. It just
What's
requires
that?
shared blood.
Would that require a special ceremony, or is that just something that happens? Is it easy?
It's not easy if you're trained.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna walk over back to the others. I'm gonna I'm I'm just worried because I'll before I walk back. Well, we kind of broke out one of Ursula's kids.
I'm going to pause this conversation here on exactly that point. Iris and Tyr. Tyr, after a moment, Iris clambers up into the bed of the truck next to you. She grabs another one of the long rifles, loads it, and casts her gaze back down towards the road. But after a few heartbeats that neither of you possess, you hear this awful scrape and wail from directly underneath the F-350.
Oh, I forgot about the fucking guy in the car. Shit. Fuck.
We need to stake him and interrogate him, but I'm not there.
Grover doesn't know shit. I'm gonna put the gun down. This server's mine. I'd love to get Grover out of there. And do I just pull it out? Like, should I just pull him out? Is there anything vital like sticking out? Like, is it just feet or something?
So you hop down and kind of level your gaze underneath the truck, and immediately you were greeted by the snapping jaws of a Grover
Hey.
that has completely lost its mind. Its body is covered in road rash.
Mm.
And it appears that its elbow hangs up underneath the axle, and it lunges forward to try to bite you, but its arm is trapped.
Huh.
Do you think you could knock it out or something with the gun? Like just hit it with it,
Just,
not
like,
shoot
nudge
it?
it out with the rifle. I mean, gosh, if I was a better shot, I'd shoot it, but I don't want to shoot the fucking truck, you know?
Yeah.
If you would calm down, I would get you out from under the truck. Grover.
We can always try.
I'll try to reason with the man.
Unfortunately, this has very little to do with you.
Good. That's usually for the best, to be honest.
Poor Grover.
The Grover reaches and puts its other hand out on the side of the back tire, looks at the asphalt for a moment, and steadies itself. It bleeds onto the mountain surface. Get me out! Out!
Uh-huh.
We can do that.
Are you going to attack me if I get you out?
It thrashes about for a little bit.
Come on, Grover.
Yeah, wow. The Grovers are so much nicer underground. Underground Grovers are better than these mountain Grovers, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, if you want to talk to the British, you got to serve tea.
Gosh. We need to invest in like a sword or something, you know, something cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can't reach in there if he's just going to be, you know,
Thrashing about.
Stand still and I'll get you out. No moving, Grover.
Its claw I shouldn't even say hand because the fingers are elongated and come to a point. Clenches around the back tire and it grows still.
Okay. If you bite me, Grover, I'm going to lose my mind. Just want you to know. So am I able to grab that arm? I'm just gonna rip him out. It's like a band-aid.
Okay.
I mean, could I?
Yeah.
God, if he wants me to crawl under there and get his arm out,
You could lift the truck.
how? I talk constantly about lifting vehicles, and here I am, not even thinking about lifting this vehicle. I would love to lift the vehicle.
I would love to not be in the vehicle.
Then you jump off. I'm gonna Hulk hands.
Plus,
There it
that
is.
means I can aim gun at Grover in case Grover
Yeah,
decides
you
to
come over
attack.
here and aim at Grover. I'll get him out, and either he will be chill, or we shoot and or punch him to death. You know. Okay. I do not get hungrier, but I'm gonna sidle up next to the car, the truck, and I'm gonna lift it up.
All right,
Get our
give me
boy
strength athletics plus potence.
Strength, athletic. Oh, finally. This is what we call dice. Athletics plus potence. One moment. A lot of 8s. Today's an 8 sort of day.
8s are successes.
I'll take it. Not as many as I would have liked, but 5.
Iris, you hop out of the truck bed onto Tyr's side of it and level the rifle at the Grover. Tyr casually lifts the vehicle. Kind of with like one arm underneath the chassis. She just hooks in and lifts.
Hey, Grover.
The Grover's arm is hoisted up over its shoulder, its weight kind of collapsing down upon it, and there is this sickening snap
Oh,
where
Grover.
its forearm is caught between the axle and the vehicle, and it snaps, and the limb falls limply to its shoulder.
You're free.
I'm there rolling up my sleeves, like, oh, guess gotta feed someone.
Mary, I swear to God. we don't
It looks
feed
down
Grover.
at its forearm and then back at you all with beady red eyes. You are Grover's, aren't you?
Finally.
We are. We've been trying to tell you that.
Good. Good that you are here. This is Grover Mountain now.
Yeah?
Mother brought us here. She took us out through the water. Said we could not have the city. There was so much blood in the city.
Yeah.
Said we could have the mountain, though. Said it would be Grover Mountain.
When did you get here?
At nightfall.
Mm.
We woke up.
Recently.
We woke up in the river. water came down over us from the mountain, from Grover Mountain.
I love Grover Mountain. I love it so much. How many Grover do we have? It's a pretty big mountain.
Not all the Grovers made it. Some were still in the water.
Ursula's.
She's not a very good mom, okay?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
like,
no, it doesn't seem so.
Only a couple dozen Grovers go to the summit.
I was just trying to figure out how a dozen equals the 100 that she just saw.
Well, guess you got to keep climbing. Is there more to climb? We at the summit.
It kind of gathers itself to its feet. And looks over at the fire. Does that belong to Grover? Is that Grover's blood?
No.
No. No.
Grover had to think about it. No.
But this is Grover's mountain. Grover was promised.
I think Mother lies to Grover a lot. Grover started.
Mother would never lie to Grover. Grover would never say that.
We heard that the mountain isn't officially Grover's until we get to the top.
Mm.
The Grover lets out a howl of anger. Puts its hand on the side of the F-350 and shrieks at the sky, pushing it sideways.
just dramatic.
It's such a long walk.
That's where we're going to take our 10-minute break. Go get yourself something to drink and ponder the Tao of Grover and the struggle that Grover must endure. We will see you in 10 minutes. I hope you're there on the other side.
The labors of Grover.
Welcome back. I hope you just got yourself a drink and strapped in. Because this Grover is definitely not strapped in and following safety protocols. It has touched Jessica's truck, pushed it across the parking lot, and howled at the sky. It owns the blood in that parking lot, and it knows it. But does it really have to go to the summit first? Is that what Mother wanted?
Yes.
Grover. Grover does have to go.
What is yes? If that Grover takes any step in a direction that is basically anything that's not the fire, so just any step closer to the fire, I'm throwing hands. Been wanting to throw hands, will throw hands. If does not go up mountain. That's what I'm waiting for.
I think we settle this with dice. Tyr, why don't you make a strength intimidation roll for me?
I would love to. And you know who
Maybe
also
you
would
can-
like to? I think Billy would love to as well. Um,
Oh, Billy would love to.
Billy would love to help me intimidate. What else is he doing? Nothing.
Waiting for his girlfriend.
Yeah, he wants me to live for a minute. I'm gonna do Shadow Cloak as well. Rank. Plus intimidation. This is like throwing a punch. +2 for Shadow Cloak. Another 5.
Iris, the Grover stares into Tyr's eyes, and they are black pools. The fire is orange and dark red, and it casts shadows all across the parking lot through the pines. They elongate and curve, and the Grover shrinks and looks towards the summit. Oh, that's right. It's not Grover Mountain. I think I'll call it Jesse's Mountain.
Well, is this in my head or not in my head?
This is a voice that you hear, Tyr.
Okay, cool. I could handle that.
Glad I don't hear it.
Yeah, you guys don't need to be part of it. You don't need to be part of this.
I don't need Billy in my life.
No.
The Grover shrinks away, turns its shoulder, and moves back towards the pines from whence it came. Kind of not directly making its way towards the summit, but back downwards towards its perceived direction of its fellow Grovers.
That's fine.
There you
We'll
go.
either fight him with the rest of them, or they'll go all to the summit together.
Dropping Shadow Cloak. It's gone. I don't need it anymore. Just trying to keep the terror in just a little bit. Not used to it yet. Do you think the other ones will follow it or what?
They're really stubborn. So that's hard to say.
Yeah.
They might just eat him.
Honestly, one less Grover. It's the Grover way to eat Grover.
Yeah.
Oh, the bearer of bad news in Grover culture.
Well, really, that's
Don't
probably
be
what'll
that guy.
happen is
You eat
somebody's
the
going to
messenger.
stand up. Someone will stand up to him. Well, if he wins, then they'll follow him up the mountain if that's what he tells them. And if he loses, then we'll find out soon.
Well, let me feed him first. Then he'll have a fighting chance.
Stop trying to feed the Grovers.
You
Listen,
need
can
to
feed all
keep
the
your
Nos
own
you
blood.
want. You have so many Nos. Honestly, actually, I will not stop you, but I do not think the Grover is just going to casually stop. That's just my warning.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there, so it's okay.
Just from the other side. Man,
Just yell.
if I was there. If Tyr doesn't see anything, she's gonna make her way back over towards the team at the fire.
Mary and Jessica and that blonde woman with a ponytail are all waiting around the fire.
I'll make sure
Mary?
Martin comes too.
Oh yeah.
This kind of grouping around the fire is definitely uncomfortable. Would you go ahead and roll me your unspent willpower?
Okay, hold on.
Maybe I shouldn't go near this fire.
As soon as you walked up,
3
you
successes.
realize 3 successes. You realize that kindred are not meant to gather around flame. They are not like mortals.
Yeah, I was wondering that. Like, what are we doing out here with fires?
You can see that the vast majority of them are away around the RVs. Only Jessica and this new ponytailed woman.
Like you could get like an artificial light source. Like I feel like they sell those at they sell those things where you just have a lamp and you put it on the ground instead of a fire. We're not medieval anymore.
Jessica looks at you. That's kind of the point.
Oh, I get it. It's like warding. You're trying to ward off the other.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, it's bothering me. We should like move a little away. Like let's like move a few steps away.
I'm glad you're not my child.
Wow.
I feel something somewhere inside me.
And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, but are you glad that Tyr's your child? And I'm like, but I don't say that.
But also,
she obliges you. Her and the ponytail woman follow.
Yeah, let's move away from the fire.
10 to 15 feet or so away from the fire. I kind of assume around this time Tyr and Iris have released their
yeah. We heard
their grips
scream.
on rifles, staring back down the way they came.
yeah, Tyr will make her way over.
I'm sorry, Mary. What did you say?
Oh, well, we heard the scream from the Grover at this
Oh
point.
yeah, absolutely.
They're all just watching. They're like, it's fucked up. They've got it.
Jessica
It's
just nods in
fine.
approval, right? Like, that's my F-350 being lifted. And then that
Mhm.
disgusting thing is touching it, and I'm cool. She's very zen.
We're both sad about the truck.
Mhm.
The two groups gather 15 to 20 feet away from the bonfire. On the opposite side from where the rest of the kindred are hastily putting away things in RVs, starting them up, about to move on to the next campsite. There is one left before the summit. The road, spirals up the mountain. You pass many campsites along the way. There's one more on the north side before you reach the top. Tyr, Iris. I'm glad you caught up with us. How has it been down in the city? Diana tells me the mortals have made an absolute mess.
Yeah, it was a bit messy.
What, they blew up like multiple levels of Takeshi Pharmaceuticals?
Something like that.
I'll bet the Venture are pretty fucking pissed. I think they might be directing their anger at us here on this little mountainside instead of dealing with the actual fucking problem.
They seem really intent on like finding, I don't know, these children. How are they doing?
They're doing as well as you could expect. We taught them how to survive out here.
They're
Most
all
kindred
from
wouldn't
different
choose it.
kinds of vampires.
Yeah. Some of them aren't cut out for this.
I was looking around. I don't blame them.
Is Michael been better? Does he seem okay?
Look, out here, you have to learn to get your blood however you can. And that usually means animals. The boy, he's a Ventru. He's never going to be able to do that.
What do you mean?
He needs to go back down into the city. I mean that he can't keep it down. And I can see it in his eyes. He is fucking hungry. He's about to lose his shit. And if he loses his shit up here on the mountain, I'm done with him. And that's not even... I don't dislike the child. But things are what they are. I can't have him trying to eat his siblings.
I don't see why we couldn't bring him back down with us.
Yeah.
It's not like we're going to stay up here that long.
Yeah, we got a space. He particular is kind of important.
Mm-hmm.
I should introduce this lady to my right. This is Diana Chapman.
Huh.
Hello. Yes, Michael's fairly important. In order for an Elysium to be called, typically the prince just calls it. We assemble court and progresses and adjourns. The other way that would happen is if all of the Primogen agree that an Elysium is necessary and they call it themselves. Michael's sire is a privileged Ventru, and right now the only leverage that we have to make that happen with.
It's not Walter Jackson, is it?
I see you have not wasted your time in the city. He is indeed Walter Jackson's child.
Wow.
They have very specific and important notions about lineage, the Ventru do. So he holds a very specific He holds a very dear place in cold Walter Jackson's heart.
So you're saying we give Michael back as like leverage?
I was saying, perhaps we let old Walter know that he had best assist us in calling it Elysium, or else.
And you were going to send this message.
I could, but I think Walter might be coming to us.
Huh. Tears trying to keep the disdain for Diana at a minimum. She's not good at controlling the face, but all these witches are rubbing her the fucking wrong way. Their claim of Jorgen is weird. She doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Diana fucking sucks.
But is she the number 4 mom? Or
I think she might be. It's a close race,
Man.
3 and 4. But now that we've met her, totally a 4. But Tears trying to not look like she hates her.
Diana's gaze kind of rotates across the group. She adjusts her glasses. They reflect the light of the bonfire on all of you.
When did you get here? Aren't you like up in like Academia City somewhere up north or south?
I am where I need to be, child.
Are you? Is
All
this a
of us
hologram
sighing
or something like a vampire? Are you? Can I reach over and try to touch Diana like with like a finger? Like, is this real?
Is there actually a Diana here? That's a good.
is
That's
she
a
a
good call.
real Diana?
That's fair. I mean, are you actually going to touch her, or are you just like trying to examine her with your eyes?
I'll actually touch her.
Oh, okay, we're doing it.
Hand on face. Yep. All right.
Why don't you go ahead and roll charisma and awareness? Because I'm kind of assuming that you intend to do this at least mildly surreptitiously.
Sure.
Very straightforward.
2 successes.
Flicker in the nose.
Well, she deserves it.
Keeping her cell phones to herself, you know.
Yeah. Give us a cell phone. She goes up on the list.
Mary, you're pretty smooth. You kind of position your back to the outside of the group, but next to Diana, and you brush your shoulder up against hers and kind of lean there casually. Her gaze immediately looks at you. It's just as cold as any other kindred you've ever seen. But through her shoulder, you feel the pump of blood.
Huh.
It's weird witches.
I don't get it.
Anyway, something tangible is here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, by the way, sorry about Malcolm. We just heard today.
That was today.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
You heard what?
Oh, he got, Diablerized.
Well, we heard that the La Sombra got to him.
Yeah.
Are you certain?
No.
We were told by them that he was dead, and I certainly saw something that showed there was diablerie of some sort.
I assumed that he just needed time and space. Have you seen his remains or anything that you suspect are his remains?
No,
He was several generations old. He would have decayed quickly.
we weren't there at the time. Just a bunch of La Sombra saying what they saw.
Can't you, like, I don't know, find out? Like, do a vampire ritual and find out if he's alive or what?
Yeah, if he's alive, tell him to come here.
Come join us on our Death Mountain.
Come to Grover Mountain.
I can assure you, I will get to the bottom of this, and there will be hell to pay.
Yeah. Pretty aggressive night from the La Sombra.
Well,
Rubs her neck.
to be fair, Tyr threatened him and told him to get the fuck out of town. So,
What?
Did I tell anybody? Did I tell anybody I threatened his life? I'd believe it. If
oh yeah, I
did.
don't know this. I don't know this.
I don't
Erase.
think Tyr actively said that to anybody. I think that's
Erase
just
that.
between
Erase
Tyr and
that.
Malcolm.
It's a secret.
It's a secret that I will kill him one day.
I feel
I'll
like
just
there was at least someone else in the room when you
It was-
told him that.
The only
It-
person who was
I think it might have
nearby
been
was
Iris.
Catherine. Catherine was
Oh.
the closest nearby, but she was like through the pathway, the secret tunnel.
Yeah. You went
Yeah.
back while we were with the princess.
Yeah, I was
and
alone
we were
with
forward.
Malcolm
Yeah.
and threatened his
Okay.
life.
So we technically
I'll
don't
just say,
know.
well, the last time we saw him, we kind of we freed him from the prison. Well, we imprisoned him and we freed him. Well, he got out somehow, and we left Jesse's walker body there in torpor, and I guess they found her in one of Malcolm's hiding spots.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
She was really distraught because, yeah.
Because what?
Well, someone she cared about apparently died. It's Billy. He's dusted.
I see.
Feels like Diana's really out of the loop, right?
Everyone is.
Yeah, it seems just we know everything.
Yeah,
We're the
haven't they
gossip.
heard this news? This is supposed to be like.
It really
It's
happened like a
days
day
old.
ago. Like it was not.
Yeah, you're
very
right.
long
It
ago.
was just like a couple days ago.
Yeah,
It was
wasn't
48
very
hours
recent.
ago.
Yeah, it wasn't too long.
Yeah, it happened 2 nights ago.
Well, then I can imagine she would be upset. Although that's no reason to go losing your mind and taking
I
it
mean,
out.
she
Malcolm.
broke the masquerade, kind of, almost.
I think it,
That was not a kinda.
yeah, it was a big black orb in the middle of a nightclub.
That's true. But I mean, you could still like hand
You
wave that.
explained it away. That doesn't
Yeah.
make it not a breach of the masquerade.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a
She
big supporter, but
literally
like
attacked me, Mary.
it's true.
Bianca was upset, and I have yet to catch up with her. I intend to before the sunrise. And it seems that we are losing control of the Sombra.
I think just one.
I think we're not. We just gave them what they wanted.
Yeah.
I guess the
others?
only person that needs if ever, or is out of control, might be Jessica.
Yeah, the others
Walker.
seemed interested in cooperating and did not seem to know that
Mhm.
Jessie was going to lose her fucking mind.
She is Billy's second.
Does that make her a leader?
It means that her say-so is required to call an Elysium, and we had presumed that the Sombra would play ball at this point.
Huh.
Do you think that she will humor us still?
I think so.
She has to. I mean,
Probably want to go there if she knew we'd be there.
Yeah. Oh God. Ooh.
How noble of you! You
That's
three
true.
little, tasty, delicious pieces of bait.
Yeah. She'll show up.
if she is, if she were, well, I don't know what their politics are like within the La Sombra, but if she were to just suddenly, for example, somehow get taken out of the equation, what would happen?
Yeah, who's the third? Is it Liam? Is it Kaczynski? Hope it's Kaczynski.
I do not know. It is usual practice to only keep a second.
Mm.
She probably hasn't picked one yet.
Typically, there is another Elysium called, but we are in extraordinary times. Upon the final death of a primogen, and a new primogen is named along with their second.
Well, it sounds like a party.
They
then.
won't. They don't necessarily have to do what the second tells them to do, right?
You mean the second does not have to do with... The
I mean,
second is
if-
only in power, presuming the final death of the actual primogen.
So you're saying we can try to keep she can be part of the equation.
That was my hope, unless you have other evidence.
I mean, if we want an Elysium, I think she'll come to Elysium.
I
Yeah.
don't think she'll make choices that will endanger the whole of La Sombra, because that's what's going to happen.
After today, I don't agree with that at all, but she was willing to risk everyone like
Well,
2
you're
hours
right.
ago. So she'd probably go. It's
Yeah,
just I don't
stable or
think
not.
she'd probably start a fight, but she'll go.
That might be for the best if she comes in crazy, you know.
Well, we don't want to implicate them. That's the whole idea. I think we need to talk to La Sombra a little more and find out how they're doing.
I would love to talk to La Sombra some more.
I mean,
that's a
talk
good
to them
way
without
start.
Jessica being there. Jessie, the other Jessica.
This happened earlier this evening, correct?
Yes.
Did you bring anything with you that was present at the time?
Well,
we were physically present.
what about
Does
your
that
clothes?
count, or does it need to be in like an object?
I would require an object.
You
If
want
there
like
was
my
some
purse?
sort of conflict. Did you lose anything in the scuffle?
I could take off my shoes right now if you want those.
She looks down at your shoes. I suppose that will do.
All right, I'll take off my shoes.
Iris is like, I could use a little break. I'll take it.
Diana turns her knees, gracefully lowering in her skirts to pick up one of your shoes. She grips it in her hand, kind of roughing it up a little bit.
Just gonna ruin my shoes.
Iris are like horrified. Just like
You look
First
to
my
her
dress,
eyes,
now my
and
shoes.
they have spread like pools of blood to a deep red color, covering up all of her whites. She holds her breath, which is strange for a kindred, and lets it out. Jesse is no longer a reliable actor. I understand. There were mortals there when she summoned the darkness.
Plenty of them.
Yeah, mostly.
What do you want to do about that? If I call this Elysium and she does not come, the prince will ask for my final death as forfeit. The price of this vote is very high. That's why I'm so keen to ensure that we have all of the required votes.
I think you just tell her that we'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
She did seem very interested in spending time with you.
do you think that that's enough? I feel like she wanted revenge. Well, it looked like she wanted revenge. I didn't see much of the darkness, but they were definitely scuffling.
She'll be there if we are.
Splendid. Then I can count on you. We will
We
call
were
it.
planning on going anyway.
Yeah.
We will call it on the next evening. There is typically 7 days delay.
It's so long.
A week. That's how old we are. I'll be double
Wow.
my age.
He'll be so much stronger by then.
Oh, what will be so powerful?
Hold on. Martin, come here.
He was obfuscated the entire time,
Mm-hmm.
and he shuffles out from behind the pines, separating the parking lot from the bonfire area. Yeah. Yes.
Jessica, Diana, this is one of Ursula's children.
Hi.
Oh, God.
Martin, I need you to straighten the fuck up.
One of Kier's acquaintances, formerly, presently, well, acquaintances. Anyway, we broke him out of their nest. He used to manage what's his name's account, Jacobson's accounts. We essentially, he knows things about La Sombra, and I have a feeling that Ursula chose him because he knew things about the La Sombra. That if were that to come to light, I don't know if the prince would be too happy about it. Unless the prince was in on that blood farm thing, which is how they were making their money.
Jessica speaks up. Well, then I'm glad you joined us up here on the mountain, Martin. Why don't you go on play with the other kids? Pick an RV.
Go into the kids'
We'll
table,
pick you up
Martin.
later. Have fun.
It's vampire daycare. And he never sees us again.
Yeah, no, this is our last meeting.
Martin kind of sheepishly starts shuffling over that way. He kind of looks back at you, Tyr, like he's unsure.
Tyr's gonna nod at him like it's fine.
He looks scared, but he keeps going.
Needs to make friends. He has to go out. He has to be social.
Yeah.
Sure, they have a box for him to sleep in.
It's just an Amazon box.
It's
kind of
perfect.
there,
It's
yeah.
perfect. Reminds him of
He'll
all the
love
minis he
it.
bought.
So you said something about Walter Jackson coming here?
The Venture run the local constabulary. They are considerably efficient and up to date on the most modern of techniques to finding wayward kindred. Jessica and her kin were down below in the valley, but they were flushed out. Walter has been using his connections with several defense contractors in the area.
Okay.
To bring several different types of surveillance drones. The skies above us.
So is he looking for you all just because he knows Michael's up here, or just for the children themselves?
At this point, it is safe to say that he is deeply aware that Michael is amongst these children.
Okay.
And he wants Michael back.
Okay. We'll have to take him with us then.
So we'll head up to the next encampment. And you all are headed back down the mountain.
Yeah.
Is there another way down where we won't run into the horde of Grover?
There's only one road up the mountain.
Fantastic.
There is another way down. And she glances towards the cliff.
Meet you guys at the fucking bottom.
Just swan dive.
Diana, while you're here, we were told that you have ways to interact your magic with technology. What I'm asking is, do you have like phones that can't be tracked? Because we could use those.
I'm sure you could, dear. You should look after Jorgen. When all of this is settled and over with, you bring him back to me, alive and well. I'll make sure you never have to worry about another phone trace ever again.
Mm-hmm.
A goddamn shame we're gonna have to worry about phones for the rest of our fucking lives then.
Yeah.
And it might behoove you to keep that little bit of information to yourself. Not all kindred are aware that phones are safe, or could be made safe for mortal eyes.
Why isn't it being used by all kindred?
Yeah, it seems like a real problem solver.
Make things a lot easier.
Seems like a thing that would prevent some humble erudite servants of the Camarilla from being taken for granted.
Mm.
All right. Anyway, we'll take a Michael.
We'll take one, Michael, please.
Does Ursula also have another kid here? There's no way she didn't contribute to the hoard, to the package, to the parcel.
Oh, does that mean Sippy did something too? Maybe a beefy ass kid.
Maybe the Malkavian was be covered by the prince.
That's true. But there could be multiple.
Is there a princess's child here too? Then?
A princess was the baby, I guess. But
princess
Sippy
was the
can
baby.
donate.
Scipio is technically the acting Malkavian Primogen at this point. I do not expect him to intervene in the calling of Alicia.
Yeah, he seems kind of indifferent.
He would not interfere in a required conversation at this point, given how active the mortals have been. He would want to deal with that, and he doesn't really give a shit about anything else.
Well, I'll give Diana my number. And just also one to Jessica, just in, she does, because she has no phone, so she doesn't need to call it. But,
She
just
does
in
have
case.
one.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, we heard that they all have the fancy phones, so we know that Jessica has one. She just won't give us her phone number.
But I'll give them.
it to us.
I'll give them my phone number.
You need business cards that you just keep scratching out the number on. Just like, here you go.
Diana takes the piece of paper and quickly inputs the number into her phone. Jessica takes it, crumples it up, puts it in her pocket.
Diana, one last thing. If I gave you some of my blood, what could you do with that?
Oh my god.
Mary, no. Iris is gonna start looking for Michael. She can't handle this.
Tyr will stay over here to mediate this.
Why just about anything you could imagine?
Maybe
It's
Okay.
a very valuable thing. A very valuable commodity. Your blood. You should not sell it cheaply.
well, if you need to use it, I'm just gonna give you some. I don't know what you're gonna use it for, but if you have some sort of like, if you need to track us down and we can't call you or whatever,
Hey,
at least
Mary,
you
could
have.
I sidebar you for like just half a second?
Okay.
I'd love to just talk on the side for a moment.
That sounds like a lovely idea. Jessica, dear, do you have a vessel that could be prepared? Jessica looks back at her. Go fuck yourself.
Sorry, clear throat.
Diana looks back at you. It seems I will not be assisted. I am just a guest on this matter.
I'm Tier.
Uh-huh.
I'll go to Tier. If you want to talk to with me privately, I could.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Tier.
It's not going to be super private. It's going to be like 5 steps away.
Okay.
Hey, just going to put this pretty bluntly. As your friend, don't give Bianca your fucking blood. Bianca, any of them. Which one is this? Diana? Fuck 'em,
Diana.
they're all low on the list.
Okay.
If there's an emergency, I will support you. You don't need to be a blood vial on a shelf, you know? You're more than a blood vial on a shelf.
Okay. Well, if you think that we can be protected that way, then you know what? Fine. I trust you.
Thank you. I think she's
But-
a bitch and will use it to hurt you. That's all.
I mean, I was just thinking, since we are in special, like, it's a special time,
It is a
it
special
might
time.
be useful.
Uh-huh.
For example, if we get kidnapped or trapped or we can't call, like, she can hopefully track us down, or I don't know. Tell us some information that can only, I don't know.
I fully understand your thought process. She is not a good person. None of these people are good people. They will not use it to help us.
Okay. Well, if you think so,
That's very
Then-
much what I think.
I'll keep my blood to myself, at least from these people.
Honestly, after all of this, by all means, like, jump on it. But, like, make her work for it a little bit, you know?
Okay.
Make her ask, you know? We don't want to seem needy. We want them to come to us, which is kind of what they do.
Yeah, if they want my blood, let them do a boon for us.
Hell yeah.
Right,
You got the idea. You got the
Okay.
fucking idea, Mary. All right, back in.
All right.
It just opens back up from the couple feet away.
Because I got those vials from Mal's that are empty.
Oh, yeah, you're like, listen, I just got vials. I'm ready to roll.
But I mean, once I give my blood, it's like, well, what can I do? Like, I don't know. Anyway, let's just.
Yeah, we can hang out with Jorgen and ask about that before we talk to what's her face, Diana. She's new. I have to get used to the name. Did we miss
Okay.
anything?
Jessica and Diana are both looking at the two of you with kind of, well, Diana with a wry smile and Jessica scowling in her leathers about the whole situation.
Well, are we done here?
Let's go get Michael. You know how
Yeah.
you're going to get back down the mountain?
Guess we'll drive. I don't think anybody else can just, fall. Doesn't seem efficient, anyways.
Fuck, you gonna drive in that? She looks over at the Buick.
I mean, we came to return the truck, but
I mean, that was one of the reasons why we came up here.
yeah, that was maybe.
God damn it! Just keep the goddamn truck.
Okay, if you insist.
Darn it.
Oh no.
What a shame.
Gotta start putting keychains on it. Got a ring of keys. Hey Jessica, when you have a minute, could we talk for just like half a second?
Yeah. Diana, why don't you take these other two and go fetch Michael?
I'll walk with Diana. They'll have their conversation. I'm gonna try to make a deal.
Hey, at least you're making a deal now. You were just giving it freely. I'm here for you making deals for it.
I'm already off trying to find Michael because I wasn't having Mary's conversation.
No, it's for the best.
Yeah.
Hey,
Iris walks awkwardly in front of Diana and Mary
Yeah.
towards the encampment. Tyr,
uh-huh. Like alone kind of conversation.
all right. You want to step into the truck?
Yeah, this actually seems like a truck conversation, yeah. Oh god. It's where all conversations with parents happen is in the car.
Such an integral part of America. I don't know how many.
Yeah,
of you
it's like I
drive.
have to tell her my secrets in a car. It's the only thing that makes sense. Yeah, Tyr will go and get in the truck.
Jessica actually walks over to the passenger side and gets in the shotgun.
Hell yeah. Tyr will like close the door and then like glance around back over at the group. Cannot make eye contact. Cannot. I'm not asking for help. I am not asking. I don't know what I'm asking. I did not tell you the full truth when I was telling you about Billy.
Yeah.
Fidget with the. Nobody fucking told us how anything fucking worked in. And I don't know if I'm ever going to be by myself again.
Oh my god, you fucking drank him, didn't you?
I was mad. I needed to kill him, and I
Okay.
did.
Okay.
I thought.
I understand, but you need to understand something from here until your last night. You're never just mad. You're never just happy. You're never just sad. You are mad and you are hungry. You are sad and you are hungry. You are happy and you are hungry. You are always going to be hungry. And you chose to drink him because you were hungry. That's why. Don't ever get confused about that.
Okay.
Now, there are not any easy answers to your problem. Billy's not fucking going anywhere. What's important is that Tyr needs to stay where she is. And that's hard. Normally, and this has happened with our kind, because we like all of them, we succumb like anybody else. We take the person up out here, someplace like this, the mountains, grasslands, and they just need some time alone among friends. The more you're around people you don't trust, the more dumb shit happens. The more dumb shit that's gonna happen that you choose, the stronger Billy's gonna get. It's the simplest explanation for how it works. The smart play would for you to go up to the summit with the rest of them and hang out for the next couple of moons. That's what we do under normal circumstances, but we're not under normal circumstances. Thank you for telling me, though.
Yeah. Sure you can, put the pieces together. Us getting attacked at Bianca's place. Jesse Walker needs to be out of the picture.
If you took Billy from her, she's gonna have every right to ask for your blood at Elysium. And I mean, she's got to get it, though. She makes an accusation, and you say it didn't happen. And the prince doesn't weigh one way or the other. The Camarilla is just as barbaric as any other tribal society. We settle it the old way. One of you drinks the other.
That seems only fair.
It is absolutely the furthest thing from fair I can imagine. It's not an arm wrestling competition, Tyr.
It's never really good at arm wrestling. But I've been really, really fucking good at killing people as of late. Really fucking good.
Is that you that's good at killing folks? Or is that Billy?
Well, I was doing that before he got here.
Well, I'm glad you're confident then.
I'll take what I get. Thank you for listening.
I'm sorry, Tyr.
Have you ever, you know,
No. My sire did. I saw him do it. He chose to end it a few nights later.
I get that. I really get that. And Billy is very adamant about going home. And I would do just about anything to have that not happen.
Well, then let's not let that happen.
I agree. Thank you for the truck.
She gets out and walks back towards the fire.
Tyr does not get out of the truck. Tyr's gonna just stay there.
Iris and Mary.
I'm
Headed
gonna
toward-
walk with Diana.
I assume you were there as well, Iris.
Yeah, but walking ahead of them in case
Right.
Mary decides to talk about weird things again.
you're there to pick up Michael, who saved you.
I'm here to get, the person that we're here for, that we care about.
We're professionals.
Right.
We do the job.
I'm here doing the job.
Diana and Mary walk towards the RVs where people are cleaning up. There's various camp supplies, people walking about. There's a young woman. She's just kind of wearing leggings and a tank top, pale as the night. You might recognize her from from Odin's Field. She's got a whole, just kind of handful of odds and ends. She's walking with it, her arms full, towards the RV. Diana meets her gaze. Dear, bring that over here. Her eyes, her pupils dilate. And she marches over, presenting Diana with this box of odds and ends. Diana reaches inside, grabs this old coffee-stained thermos, unscrews the top, casts some water / coffee / dark brown liquid out onto the grass. Screws the top back on. Did you want to talk to me about something?
She's ready. She's like, all right, so you wanted to well, first of all, what happens when a vampire drinks another vampire? Does that like, does a vampire stay in that vampire for forever? I mean, like, fully. You know what I mean.
Wink, wink,
Fully
nudge,
drink.
nudge.
Like,
Like the big slurp, you know.
yeah.
I take your meaning. I take your meaning. It depends. It depends on the strength of the kindred that has been drank, and the strength of the kindred that has done the drinking. I imagine you've met Scipio, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
If Scipio were
Right.
to arrive on this mountaintop and drain me dry, he would struggle to remember my name, I'm sure. But it doesn't go the other way around. If I were to drink Scipio, that might be counterproductive. I might just be the next Scipio.
I see. So it seems like it's very hard to just kill someone who's very old. Well, I mean, I guess you could just, well, drag them out in the sun. But I mean, stealing their power and stuff.
Stealing their power comes at a cost. And is considerably risky.
Anyway, we heard there were like a lot of other kinds of vampires like roaming around out there. Um, where are they? The ones that don't participate with the Camarilla.
The
What do they
Anarchs,
do?
they fritter about and make shitty statements on Twitter. That's
They're
I don't know what to tell you. They reside in Tacoma. They're not worth our time, mostly. If all this were not taking place, perhaps the Camarilla would take more of an interest in bringing them into the fold, one way or another.
okay. So, well, my friend thinks it's fairer if you gave me something in exchange for my blood. I don't really know what you can do with my blood, but well,
Unnamed friend.
sure.
I wonder which one.
I think that's fair. But what can you do with my blood if I gave it to you?
Well, it is probably more succinct for me to tell you what I cannot do with your blood than what I can, because I can do a great many things with your blood. I can find you. I can injure you, possibly even end you. I cannot directly influence your will through the blood like that. I can influence your will in the usual fashion. She beats your gaze when she says that. But you will have your memories intact and your own volition active, regardless of what I do with anything you give me.
Okay.
Beyond
Well,
that, I can do anything you can imagine.
I just thought that since you need like objects to do your magic, it would be helpful to at least have something of ours, even if it's mine, to be able to do something with, so you're not completely like out of touch. Anyway, look, before Malcolm ran off, he had this library of stuff. And, well, I was hoping that someone was going to help Jorgen out in learning these rituals and all of that stuff. Maybe are there resources that can give us information on these things, like that you can lend us?
I had tested Malcolm with his education, and I see that has fallen apart. There are many resources that were in Malcolm's haven that he could use to expand his own knowledge, but that will take time, especially with no mentor to guide him. If he were to return to the fold completely, then of course that would be a different matter. And I expect that he will in time.
Well, all right. I want to make Jorgen's life easier, and I guess by extension ours. If you can give me resources on vampire magic and just vampires in general, I can trade that for my blood.
Very well. Perhaps I'll leave you with one of my old favorites, and I will try to be as succinct as I can. But we have a deal.
That sounds good. Well, I just pull out my arm, all right. I was able to collect vials also from Malcolm's cabinet where he keeps the vampire blood. So
Rip
I have
the Vlad sticker off of it. Just
I've got a bunch of empty ones.
Oh, perfect. And she chucks the thermos off into the wilderness. I'm glad you came prepared.
Yeah, I have these 2 filled ones. If you want them, I don't know who owns them. I was gonna drink them, but maybe you'll find a use for them. I show the 2 vials if she knows the people who are in those vials.
These were Malcolm's clients.
we've been outed.
Uh-huh.
He really is dead if he's giving you this.
Well, I kind of raided his stash.
Oh, child. I will warn you once. Never do that again. I shall chalk it up to simple precociousness.
Fine.
Stop telling the people we stole from that we stole from them.
I think that you mean well, which is why I don't take this seriously. But in different circumstances, I would be inclined to teach you very harshly not to steal from the Tremere.
All right. Were these gonna rot, or was that vampire fridge?
They will not rot. They are warded against it. As your blood will be momentarily. She takes the 2 vials, kind of appraises them, puts one in her pocket, pops the cork on the other one, dumps out the old blood.
Can I? You could just. Can you? Can you? Oh, should have dumped in my mouth.
Could have had a snack.
I'm hungry
Oh,
too.
indeed. Indeed. You watch that blood cascade onto the bright green blades of grass.
Diana is wasteful, going in the notes.
Oh, it's a good thing Iris wasn't facing them.
Diana is
Goes into frenzy.
supremely in control of her emotions. She empties the vial and hands it back to you. Please fill to the indicated line.
Okay. Well,
Oh, okay.
And you do indeed note that there is a scratched line in the glass at the top of the vial.
I'm gonna find something to cut myself with, or my fang. I'll make a little hole with my fang, and pierce my arm or something, and start filling the vial, while hopefully Iris is getting Michael.
Yeah. Just pretending I don't know what's going on behind me. Like,
If I ignore it, it's not happening.
I assume Iris is perfectly aware of what's going on behind her
I'm trying to
Um,
pretend I don't know. Mm-hmm.
and is actively choosing not to know. Mary, you are successful. Your fangs are deeply suited to opening up veins. Your blood trickles into the vial, filling it to the brim. You can affix the stopper to it and hand it back to her if you wish.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, I have some things written down in the RV. Iris, would you be there and get the door?
Is that where Michael's at? That's where I'm going.
It is indeed.
All right, then sure. I'll get the door for them.
Fine.
You march up the steps into an RV that is rapidly filling with scared fledglings. And you can see Michael, absolutely gaunt,
Mm.
in the back.
This poor boy. I'm going straight over to him. They can do whatever they want with their weird stuff.
I prepared this just this morning. She digs into a file cabinet, kind of that old, like, fake oak 80s cheap desk. And she pulls out her notebook. I usually take notes whenever I perform a ritual, and this evening was no different. I like to keep this prepared at all times, and it's probably a good idea for Jorgen. She reaches into it and tears out the spiral binder, a couple pages, and hands it to you.
Okay. What is it?
It is something to help you survive an encounter with a much larger and more forceful vampire.
We won't need something like that. But I'll take it just in case.
We have a Tyr who is sound of mind and willing to help at all times.
Iris, you march through this group of fledglings, and they are. You recall the first time you saw the container when they were all absolutely shrunken and gaunt figures. Some hanging, some crouching. Now they're full, flush in some instances. The presence of new figures. Some of them decided to put on the mask of humanity for a moment, ashamed of their nakedness.
Oh,
But Michael can't seem to muster it. His cheeks are sunken in, and it's difficult to get his gaze.
Poor guy. I'll go all the way up to him then. Just lightly rest her hand on his shoulder and say, "Hey, Michael. It's been a while."
I remember you. You were on the bus.
I never got the chance, but thank you for saving me back there. I'm gonna return the favor, and we're gonna get you out of here, somewhere where you're not starving.
Thanks. Everyone else can drink it, and I can't. And I don't know why.
It's not your fault. It's probably just some weird relation thing. It's kind of like an allergy. Simplest way to put it. But where we're gonna go, you'll be able to eat. We'll be going back there tonight, so you'll be okay.
You can make the hunger go away?
Not all the way, but it'll be manageable.
Okay. All right. And he moves forward to kind of hug the side of your body, but he stops. He raises his shoulders. And you can see the minute he moves towards any other living thing, his fingers tense and elongate. The natural reaction of hunger in a monster.
This poor kid. She's gonna grab him by the arm anyway and start leading him out.
let's go beach.
She feels so bad.
You haul him past all the other kindred in the RV and open the flimsy door and step out onto the grass where Mary and Diana have concluded their deal. Everybody, go ahead and make an investigation awareness check.
Oh, good.
That's bad.
I get
Mhm.
my hunger dice.
Same.
I also get one.
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 What?
All the ones.
I'm busy disassociating in the truck.
You are all free to do as you please.
Good. Roll with advantage.
Iris and Mary, Tyr is waiting in the truck for you
Mm.
to return down the mountainside.
Tyr will roll down the window. I mean, I have a seat available now. Should Michael ride with me or what?
Well, Michael, would you rather ride in the truck with Tyr or the car with me? And Mary, you can pick either as well.
Yeah,
I,
whichever you
I
pick,
want-
I'll pick the other.
I want to ride in the car. I want to ride in the car.
Okay.
I don't know who'd pick the car, but that's okay.
Not all of us like trucks.
Iris, maybe I hate to put me by myself, but maybe Mary should be with you two.
Yeah. I was gonna ride with Tyr, but yeah.
I-
Okay, I can.
I
go.
don't know if we should, maybe we should put a little extra muscle in the car.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Um. Are we about to go?
Yeah, I mean, we have a long drive back. If we're gonna head back today.
And I'm
I'd
ready
like
to
to
go.
talk to Diana one last time.
Oh. Why'd
so
you walk
sorry.
away from her then?
I wasn't. I was just. We were concluding the blood.
She just-
Diana waits for you at the edge of the trees. Wow.
Just runs back.
By the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. One last thing. Were you the ones that put us in the boat?
I suppose you could say it was me.
What? Why? What? Why? What's the point of like separating us from the others?
Well, I think that's apparent, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, are we any different from like what did you expect us to do? Even if you separate us, we didn't really have any instructions. So even though what happened, like how
These children that you see here, they were all staked and hung. And that only creates two types of animal. Absolute monsters or absolute prey. And it appears that most of them are prey. Thank God. The only way to create a thinking, alive child is for them to be able to care for themselves. You cannot remain in a box as a fledgling. You need to learn to take care of yourself. To take care of what little connection you have left to your old life.
what
Anything
was
else leads to mindlessness.
okay.
Hence the
What
keys, hence the blood supply we left you.
We kept it alive.
Good. I'm impressed.
All right. Well,
4th place.
you can if you need to contact us, you know where to reach us. You've
Oh.
got my phone number.
Oh, I can reach you now.
All right, we're gonna have to go because what time is it?
Yeah. Tears leaning out the window. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna run back. Confusing
should-
answer, but like whatever.
The car should go first because you guys are so, zippy.
It's not my fault. There are hundreds of them. We have to go fast to get past them
Yeah,
all.
no judgment here. I just can't go fast. It's never gonna happen.
But sure, I will go first.
Listen, I'll go first if you want me to. You just can't ride my ass and like keep trying to go around me,
I'll go down the mountain first. It's fine.
Okay. I will. The truck will take up the back.
And so the Buick Lacrosse takes the lead. The truck and the car roll out of the parking lot. Kind of about the same time that the RVs kind of make it out. It looks like Jessica and Diana are supervising. They kind of stand at the entryway as the RVs file out, curve around, and you kind of see them bend the other way up the mountain, going up the road that you are about to go down.
They're going higher too. The Groves are going higher. Like
Yeah, they're in for a wild ride. Up
Hey,
here. Hey,
they
we
know the
brought up
Grovers are here.
Grovers.
we told them, so it's their choice.
We told them there's Grovers. What does that mean to them? I don't know, but we said it.
You're kind of watching them pull out, and all of you, no check required at this point. You hear this whirring, buzzing, rising sound. And rising up over the treetops, looking back, you see perhaps a score of mechanical drones rising up.
Shit.
They move into a pattern above all of you, circling. Some follow the RVs. Some trace the road down. They form a network. Diana and Jessica kind of look up at them. And you can see the worry on their faces. Jessica starts moving towards a beat up old Cutlass that she'd driven up here. Diana just watches. And with no warning other than the drones, you hear this. And the entire area around Diana and Jessica is leveled in fire and explosion. It rocks all of the vehicles that you are in.
The actual fuck.
And that's where we're going to end it tonight. Thank you for joining us on In the Last Remaining Light. We will drone strike a motherfucker.
Mm.
It's kind of our national motto. The Dice Cult has mini shows starting on Mondays. We will be back to normal, thank God.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, just taking in the scenery. On Mondays we have On the Backs of Gods, which is a Norse mythology inspired D&D 5e game. Currently the party is following a prophecy, heading towards destiny and maybe some revenge, the usual casual stuff. And maybe there's some very powerful entities that would love to make deals, and I think there are people that are very interested. And while I'm talking, if you join us on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can acquire a code for the dice giveaway. Put the link in the thing.
Those.
If you join us on Monday, we will be giving out a secret code, and that code will get you a lot of tokens for the dice giveaway. So I would, just swing by, see what's going on, watch me do terrible things to a bunch of players. Nathan and I have similar interests. Maybe I will set the people they love ablaze. I don't know. But you're welcome to stop by and get the code. There will also be a code next Saturday before the drawing. So, join us again to, the fire part, but also to get tokens so you can win some dice.
Yeah.
I'm a little struggling to focus a little bit, but we'd love to see you on Monday. And we'd love you to follow the link, push some buttons, win some beautiful dice made by Katie. Nice spooky dice.
Yeah.
That's my story.
On Tuesday nights, we have Legends of Theaya, and that is back up and running. That's at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And Wednesday nights over on the Dice Cult / YouTube, so that'd be YouTube, us. You will find Cordially Invited, a wonderful D&D 5e story that is ongoing, told by Jackie, our very own D&D GM. That happens every other week, and this is the off week, so you have time to catch up. And you can catch up on all of this on our Dice Cult YouTube channel, where you can find old episodes of On the Backs of Gods, and Last Remaining Light, Legends of Theaya, and Cordially Invited, all there on YouTube for you to like and subscribe to your heart's content. We will see you next Saturday and learn about what happens next. Thanks. Bye.
Good night.